And welcome to another episode of Hazardous Verbal Waste. I am your host, Shiro Chan. Today is May 26th, 2019. Got a lot of really cool information to go over this week, including some new information regarding the new legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution for the Switch, as well as a lot of other cool stuff. So let's get right down to it, shall we? In Magic the Gathering news, Magic the Gathering Arena launches first story-based event May 23rd. Beginning this past Thursday, May 23rd, players of Magic the Gathering's online component Arena have been able to immerse themselves in a special event delving into the game world's history and lore. Thursday marked the beginning of the 5-week story event called War of the Spark Chronicles. This brand new story mode has never been available in official paper Magic. According to an official blog post written by Chris Clay, Magic the Gathering Arena game director, the story will trickle out in 5 sequential events and include special digital swag players can earn. Every week we'll be highlighting one of the pivotal moments in the War of the Spark story through the events you can play in and the new stained glass Planeswalker card styles you can earn, Clay wrote. The new story mode is particularly timely considering the massive amount of lore present in the War of the Spark card block, which Magic parent company Wizards of the Coast has advertised as the most ambitious Magic card set ever. Including the stories of dozens of planeswalkers, the game's spellcasting denizens. It's a major addition to the game's lore. War of the Spark is also set to serve as a finale for years of in-game storytelling. The first Magic the Gathering Arena story event began Thursday, May 23rd, with Ravnica at War. What makes the gameplay special is that players' decks for the event will each include 36 Planeswalker cards, one for each that is included in the War of the Spark card set. Each of the 5 sequential story events will include a different play mode as outlined on VentureBeat. Players who participate in Arena's War of the Spark story mode will have the opportunity to earn stained glass style digital cards without spending any of their in-game currency. These cards will also feature new flavor text chosen specifically for these events, some of which Clay says were pulled directly from the War of the Spark Ravnica novel by Greg Weisman. In order to access the story mode, players will need to approve a required update to Arena. The update was available as of May 23rd and is expected to require no downtime. That's pretty much all we have for Magic the Gathering news this week. On to the next segment. In gaming news, Call of Duty 2019 title revealed, and it's not Modern Warfare 4. According to multiple new reports, this year's Call of Duty is not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, but rather is simply just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's it, no number or anything, just Modern Warfare. The news first broke via YouTuber Long Sensation and then was substantiated by Kotaku's Jason Schreier, one of the industry's most reliable reporters known for his scoops, and who has been breaking quite a bit of Call of Duty news lately. Of course, this should be taken with a grain of salt because it's not official information, but Schreier is normally a very reliable source. Further, as mentioned above, he's had some Call of Duty scoops lately. For example, he broke that next year's Call of Duty will be Black Ops 5 and will be developed by Treyarch after Activision decided to pull the plug on the game Sledgehammer and Raven Software were making together. Meanwhile, he also broke that this year's installment Call of Duty Modern Warfare may have a free-to-play component. According to the Kotaku report, the decision to go free-to-play in some shape or form is still very much up in the air, suggesting we may not see the result of it until 2020's entry. At the moment, Activision and Infinity Ward haven't officially revealed this year's Call of Duty, but that is expected to change very soon, presumably before E3 2019 rolls around next month. Also in gaming news, Google Stadia will share game titles, pricing, launch info this summer. We'll soon learn more about Google Stadia gaming service. Details including pricing, game announcements, and launch info for the new game streaming service will be shared this summer, according to a Friday tweet from the Stadia account. This summer, 3 of the wishes you've been asking for will finally be granted, the tweet reads. Price reveal, game announcements, and launch info. Stay tuned here for more Stadia details coming soon. Google unveiled Stadia in March. The service lets users play games on a wide variety of devices over an internet connection. It eliminates the need for a chunky game console or expensive PC. Players just need a TV, set-top box, browser, phone, or low-end PC to surf the web using Google Chrome. They can also use their own keyboard, mouse, and controller, or Google's Stadia controller that connects to its servers via Wi-Fi. That's pretty much all we have for gaming news this week. On to the next segment.
Before we get to our next segment, a quick word from our sponsors. When I'm hungry and I want something to eat, but there's nothing prepared in the house, it sucks. But with Blue Apron, I don't have to worry about having to go to the grocery store, portioning out the ingredients. Everything is done for me. You simply choose your meals. Their chef-designed recipes include balanced Mediterranean meals, quick one-pan dinners, and top-rated customer favorites. They guarantee the freshness of all their ingredients and deliver them in an insulated box right to your door. Following the step-by-step instructions, you'll experience the magic of cooking recipes that their chefs create with your family's tastes in mind. I know it's super easy for me to do. I can't cook worth a darn, but with their instructions and all the ingredients perfectly portioned out, I'm a chef. So if you want to try out Blue Apron for yourself, go to blue-apron.evyy.net/HVW podcast and you can save $60 over your first 3 boxes. Sign up now at blue-apron.evyy.net/HVW podcast. Again, that's blue-apron.evyy.net/HVW podcast and start cooking.
Hey everybody, I really do hope you love Hazardous Verbal Waste. Did you know that you can actually get paid just for listening to this podcast? I know it sounds insane, but it's true. We just discovered this free new app called Podcoin, and it literally pays you to listen to podcasts. Here's how it works. You listen to podcasts, and you earn Podcoin while you listen. Then you turn that Podcoin in for gift cards at places like Amazon or Starbucks, or if you're a good person, you could even donate that Podcoin to charity. The more you listen, the more you earn. So here's what you do. Download the app right now on iPhone or Android, and I have a special code for you. Simply use our code HAZARDOUS and you'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up. And if you listen to enough of us on there, you can get a cappuccino at Starbucks or an Amazon gift card on us. So go ahead and go listen to this podcast or virtually any podcast on Podcoin and sign up with code HAZARDOUS. I swear it'll change the way you listen to podcasts. In Xbox news, Xbox takes game streaming service tech to 13 markets. The next step into video games' latest frontier has been taken by Microsoft's Xbox. On Friday, the company developed tech from its cloud-based game streaming service Project xCloud to 13 markets across North America, Asia, and Europe to be used on Xbox's Azure data centers. Major game developers such as Capcom and Paradox Interactive are testing their games on the new tech already. Details about Project xCloud were touted during a March episode of Microsoft's Inside Xbox livestream show. Anywhere you have a good network connection, you'll be able to participate in Project xCloud, Kareem Chowdhury, head of Gaming Cloud at Microsoft, said at the time. Friday's announcement marks a significant step in the implementation of the tech, which has been alpha tested by Xbox employees, including company head Phil Spencer, over the past few months. We want to make it as easy as possible for developers to make their games available to all gamers with support for existing games, those currently in development, and future games, Chowdhury said in a statement. Xbox boasted the capability to stream more than 3,500 games when Project xCloud officially launches from the company's catalog over the past 3 console generations. Furthermore, the company explained how the cloud-based service would be beneficial to developers. When a developer updates the Xbox One version of their title, those updates will also apply to all versions available on Project xCloud without any additional work, Chowdhury said. Xbox also noted that there are more than 1,900 games currently in development for the Xbox One console, all of which would be available to stream through Project xCloud. There is still no set launch date for Project xCloud, but Chowdhury said that the Xbox is eager to hear from the community to help us shape it and participate in development in a very open and transparent way. Last week, Xbox revealed that it would be partnering with competitor Sony in a deal that would grant the Japanese gaming company access to Xbox's Azure streaming services. Also in Xbox news, and also relating to Xbox xCloud, Microsoft's xCloud capable of streaming 3,500 Xbox games. A big question facing Microsoft's upcoming cloud gaming service is what you'll be able to play. So far, the company hasn't said much, but on a technical level, the Microsoft xCloud service will be capable of streaming any Xbox game ever made, without any changes needed by the developer. That means that Project xCloud has the technical capability to stream more than 3,500 games, Microsoft Vice President Kareem Chowdhury said in a blog post on Friday. The statement isn't really a surprise. To develop the xCloud gaming service, Microsoft has been building custom servers using Xbox One hardware, which is built to play 3 generations of Xbox games going back to the original console. The real takeaway is how game makers can port their existing titles to the new platform. According to Chowdhury, it'll be easy. Developers will be able to dramatically scale their existing games across devices with no additional development, no additional code-based maintenance, and no separate updates, Chowdhury said. When a developer updates the Xbox One version of their title, those updates will also apply to all versions available on Project xCloud without any additional work, he added. Getting developer support for xCloud will be crucial for Microsoft. The company is competing against Google's own cloud gaming service Stadia, which is slated to launch later this year. However, translating Xbox games over to xCloud may give Microsoft a key advantage in the game streaming market. According to Chowdhury, more than 1,900 games are in development for the current Xbox One console. Leading game developers such as Capcom and Paradox Interactive also now have access to test their games over the xCloud platform. We've already deployed our custom Project xCloud blades to data centers across 13 Azure regions with an initial emphasis on proximity to key game development centers in North America, Asia, and Europe, Chowdhury added. The company has also been letting Microsoft employees test an alpha version of xCloud. You can expect public trials of the service to begin later this year. That's pretty much all we have for Xbox news this week. On to the next segment. In tech news, Huawei can no longer use micro SD cards in smartphones, removed from SD Association. As days go by, the effects of the US ban on Huawei are only getting worse. Today, it's been revealed that the SD Association has barred Huawei, effectively removing the company's ability to use micro SD cards or SD slots in any of its products. The SD Association is a non-profit organization that controls the standards for SD products. This includes everything from standard full-size SD cards to the micro SD card in your smartphone. It also includes the port designs that read these cards. If a company isn't a member of the association, it can't officially produce products with these standards. Now, Huawei has been delisted from the SD Association, no longer appearing on the list of members. Speaking to Android Authority, the SD Association confirmed that Huawei was removed from this list in compliance with the US order. Huawei also mentioned that its current smartphones with microSD card support won't be affected, obviously, but declined to comment on any future devices having support. What's important to note here, though, is that this move isn't exactly a dagger for Huawei. The company has been moving away from using SD cards in its phones for a couple of years. Instead, Huawei devices, especially flagships, have been adopting the company's own nano memory format, which is smaller than a micro SD card. Also in tech news, Mark Zuckerberg apparently tried to buy Panic, the creator of Playdate. Buried in Edge magazine's exclusive feature on Playdate is an interesting revelation. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg once expressed interest in buying Panic, the developers behind the new handheld, hand-cranked console. Perhaps even more intriguing, Panic co-founder Cabel Sasser didn't respond. He didn't want to be part of another Silicon Valley software company gobbled up by a giant. Panic has worked on various clever Mac and iOS apps for years, including Transmit, a file transfer protocol, and Firewatch, an adventure video game that's available for Mac. So it's not unreasonable that Zuckerberg would reach out. But, as Sasser told Edge magazine, anytime I see a company in the software world pop up and make something that's super interesting to me, then they're immediately acquired by someone else and you never hear from them again. That voice is gone, and it kills me. Had Sasser responded to Zuckerberg and sold, it's unlikely the Panic developers would have created Playdate. If nothing else, Panic produced a truly unique device. In addition to being hand-cranked, thanks to teenage engineering, the console will receive new games weekly. Had the company sold, it could have forfeited the opportunity to do something so original. As Sasser said to Edge, maybe that's why we've put on this planet to be an example of you can move slowly. Make sure you have enough money in the bank, make something good, and see what happens. You don't have to go for world domination. That's pretty much all we have for tech news this week. On to the next segment. In anime news, Viz Media announces June 2019 releases of Naruto, Sailor Moon, and more. Viz Media will usher in summer with an exciting slate of home media and anime titles, including the final seasons of Naruto Shippuden and Sailor Moon Sailor Stars. The first English-dubbed season of Sailor Moon Sailor Stars Part 1 debuts on June 18th in limited edition Blu-ray combo pack, standard Blu-ray, and DVD sets. Cast members from seasons 1 through 4 will reprise their roles. According to Viz Media, Sailor Moon and the Sailor Guardians are about to face their greatest challenge yet, high school. But as the girls take their next big step in life and Chibi USA prepares to return to the future, a mysterious force frees the evil queen Nehelenia. While the struggle to contain her old enemy will be difficult, it may be Mamoru's year of studying abroad that hurts Usagi the most. For the final box set of the long-running series Naruto Shippuden Set 38 will arrive in stores on June 11th. The Hidden Leaf Ninja return to their daily lives after the Fourth Great Ninja War, some tackling dangerous jobs while others deal with the post-war aftermath. Rounding out the Viz Media home video releases is the entire 13-episode series of Megalobox. Megalobox has a planned release date of June 25th. Bored, resigned, and unfulfilled, a young man with neither name nor past survives by fighting in underground matches of a sport called Megalobox. Obsessed with improving himself, JNK Dog becomes a man driven to whatever it takes to fight his way to the top of the rankings and take on the champion. On the manga side, Viz Media has announced the release of the complete box sets of two classics, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, out June 4th, as well as the prequel Pokemon the Movie The Power of Us, Zeraora's Story, June 11th, and high school drama Komi Can't Communicate, also June 11th. Evangelion Illustrations collects 10 years of artwork from the enduring and iconic pop culture phenomenon. Also in anime news, Taika Waititi's Akira is coming in 2021. A live-action Akira remake is such a bad idea. The original manga by Katsushiro Otomo is a legendary classic, as is the 1988 anime adaptation. A movie so cool and good, it's okay to like, even if you correctly believe anime was a mistake. Plus the story and Neo-Tokyo setting were just so specifically about Japanese cyberpunk anxiety surrounding urban youth culture and nuclear war. Akira is just like a regular dude's name, not something weird and mysterious. But because brands can never be stopped, Hollywood has been trying to make a live-action Akira movie happen for years. And according to Deadline, it's finally happening on May 21st, 2021. Fortunately, the project is being handled by Taika Waititi, the talented New Zealand director who turned Thor Ragnarok into a cool movie despite being the third Thor movie. Along with being a great director who has proven his ability to inject his signature quirky style into big blockbusters, Taika Waititi's background also gives us hope for his take on Akira. So much of the story is about children oppressed and exploited by uncaring governments. And in the real world these days, those children are children of color. Waititi's Maori racial heritage has informed his New Zealand films like Boy and Hunt for the Wilder People. Heck, it even informed Thor Ragnarok and its subtle anti-colonist bent. So hopefully Waititi can bring that rebellious political perspective to the deeply punk political Akira as well. This is why Jordan Peele was a promising early idea for director years ago. Please just don't cast white kids as Kaneda and Tetsuo. Taika Waititi's Akira opens in theaters May 21st, 2021. Here's hoping it's more Speed Racer than Ghost in the Shell as far as live-action anime adaptations go. And in the meantime, look forward to Waititi's next movie, Jojo Rabbit, in theaters this October. He plays an imaginary Adolf Hitler. Really? That's pretty much all we have for anime news this week. On to the next segment. In movie news, Star Wars plans Knights of the Old Republic film trilogy with first female writer since 1980. It looks like the Star Wars film franchise, following the release of The Rise of Skywalker later this year, is slowly coming into focus. According to a new report from BuzzFeed, Lucasfilm is gearing up for a potential new trilogy based on the video game series Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic that started back in 2003. Sources close to the studio say Leta Kalogridis, I apologize if I've butchered that name, is finishing the script for the first movie after coming on board the project in spring 2018. Lucasfilm's hiring of Kalogridis is a historic one for the Star Wars movie franchise, as no solo female screenwriter has ever been behind a Star Wars script. The only credited female writer in the Star Wars movie universe is Leah Brackett, who shared a credit with Lawrence Kasdan on 1980's The Empire Strikes Back. Since then, only men have written Star Wars movies, and the franchise has come under fire in recent years for only hiring male writers and directors to develop its movies. Kalogridis is a Hollywood veteran, having worked on scripts for Terminator Genisys, Martin Scorsese's Shutter Island, and most recently, Alita Battle Angel. Kalogridis was an executive producer on James Cameron's Avatar and is also the creator of Netflix's science fiction series Altered Carbon, which is returning for a second season later this year. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy stoked interest in a potential Knights of the Old Republic series earlier this year at Star Wars Celebration. Speaking to MTV News, Kennedy said, "We are developing something to look at," after she was asked about an Old Republic film series. Kennedy added, "Right now, I have no idea where things might fall. One direction the Star Wars movie franchise will definitely be going in after The Rise of Skywalker is a new series of films developed by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Walt Disney Company Chairman Bob Iger confirmed earlier this month Benioff and Weiss would be writing and directing a Star Wars movie set for release on December 16th, 2022. The next Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker, opens in theaters December 20th. That's all we have for movie news this week. On to the final thoughts. Well, here we are at the end of yet another episode of Hazardous Verbal Waste. I want to thank you all for listening and bearing with me over the past 2 weeks since I missed last week's episode due to illness. Unfortunately, the illness is still with me, so if you didn't notice, I did stumble over some words, and I have been sounding a little more raspy. Hopefully, the illness is getting better, and I will have better sound quality in the future. I did also want to bring your attention to the new sponsor, Podcoin. It's an awesome app that I've been listening to for the past month, and you actually earn Podcoins when you one Podcoin, sometimes two, for every 10 minutes of a podcast that you listen to. And you can redeem those coins for gift cards. You can donate to charities, or you can even get some pretty awesome prizes. Right now, the top prize is a pair of Bluetooth headphones that I'm really excited to get. that's pretty much all for that. My final thoughts on this episode. The one thing that I am really excited about is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution game for the Switch. I actually went ahead and pre-ordered it myself from GameStop. I've been calling them all week, and for some reason, the pre-orders didn't go live until today, even though the release date was announced earlier this week. So who knows what was going on with that. Hopefully everything's settled now, but the pre-orders are live. So if you want to go ahead and get your physical copy, if you live in the United States, Europe, or in South America, you can go ahead and pick up your physical copy at GameStop, or you can order it from GameStop if you don't have a GameStop near you, or anywhere that you can pre-order it from and get those promo cards. I will make sure in my Instagram post for this episode to include an image of those cards so that you can see them for yourselves. And I'll probably add an image of the cards to the show notes on my website, hazardousverbal.com, so that you can see those cards for yourself if you don't have Instagram. That pretty much wraps things up for this week. Again, I'm Shiro Chen, signing off. Peace.